stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity, with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
This one seems promisingly resistant to physical torture. Subtle and discreet. Exactly what I need. Someone with a talent for exploiting insecurities. I do have a lot of dirty test tubes.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Please power down your engines and prepare to be...
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down 11%. Skip drive.
Shit.
Inoperable.
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck! Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry. I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship... go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go. Easy now. You've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, law, that stings. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. Spacer's choice policy clearly stipulates that dead and as good as dead are two completely different properties of matter. Unless I'm dead, I'm contractually obligated to attend to my post. I will report that illegally grounded spacecraft if it is the last thing I do. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh? You'd better take my gun then. Careful, it's worth more to the company than I am. All Spacer's choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Yes, nailed it that time. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna. The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell? This...
here before you get yourself killed. Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. You pulling my limb? I mean, yeah, of course. Marauders. Bunch of addle-brained derelicts. I could round them up all by myself. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs, son. You think? Most marauders can't even talk. But criminals do attract other criminals by their own nature. You know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. Then it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go.
I just earned a fine bonus.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Intruders are not authorized to access the Unreliable's amenities, including the cargo hold's workbench. Please be advised that using the respecification machine will not make you a better person. Marauder, please be informed that the engine room contains nothing of value. All doors are on security lockdown. Nice try, Marauder. Marauder, please be informed the ship has no crew for you to murder. Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a... Hello. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction. Gesture procedures initiated. Please engage in airlocks. Prepare to eject all boarded parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand? It is difficult for me to do so. I am programmed to accept commands from Captain Alex Hawthorne, after all. Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
Oh no. How long? On Hansel. You having a good day, man? How was your night? Why didn't you like this game? I need to know. Weapon management. Up to 4 different weapons at a time. By navigating to weapon. This page, you can also inspect your weapons, compare them, flag them as junk, break them down as the colors within their weapons. An L weapon. Oh god. Spy. Targeting. Target automatic. Fuck tonight, man. Okay, fuck off with this. What is toughness? Oh. Take me on. Sure. I get through.
Due to catastrophic power failure, all doors will remain on security lockdown.
If these two are still in here killing me. And they all. Criminal activities, trespassing, lockpicking, hacking, murder are all considered activity and are frowned upon by society. Avoid being seen if you want to activity without cause and I don't like you guys at all. I don't like that I can't pick your fucking armor though. Why not have armor management, blah 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 blah. Break these things. Is that better, Hanzo?
Huh? Thank you. Hey! Stay away!
Oh, look at this fucking town. That looks beautiful, bro. Yeah, I'm streaming, bro. What up, man? Ricky Jake?
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from?
Yeah, what's going on? Can you hear me? Jake? Ugh, this is irritating. Go to Edgewater, Emerald Vale. Something I want to see. Go to high real quick. Did it turn motion blur back on? Oh, it didn't. It still feels like there's motion blur. Motion blur. Motion blur. Damn. Oh, what up?
I've got some time.
I bet you do, slut.
Oh, I'm an actuary. That means I keep tabs on a worker's living expenses. How much it costs to feed, clothe, shelter, bury, and replace your average human worker. Technically, I'm employed by the Spacer's Choice Department of Human Resources.
Gonna hang out? That's cool, man. I think that. Why am I picking that up? Put it up.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's...
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. You were saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just... old. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll do better.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification of company property is strictly contrary to the Spacer's Choice Code of Conduct. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you? I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I must say, wearing a Marauder's outfit is in very poor taste. I do wish you'd show your uniform a little more respect.
Oh, so they mentioned the clothes I'm wearing. Okay.
Shirt, pants, work boots, company-approved colors. The, honorable apparel of a loyal worker? Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
Uh-oh.
My proposition benefits the both of us. Please, hear me out.
Does it?
There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered.
Mostly?
Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
When you say mostly abandoned, what do you
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
I mean, Marauders.
The
Marauders,
people
aren't
living in the botanical labs. They're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. Good Lord,
Love
no,
it.
I don't want you killing anyone, least of all them. My hope is that by cutting off their
Fucking
power, you will
love it.
convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go,
Adelaide.
and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
Or what if I take yours?
Of course, I understand completely. Here, let me give you the passcode to the geothermal plant. A sign of good faith, for so politely listening to me as I ramble on.
Yeah.
Are you setting off for the Vale? Because I know my way around. I mean, in case you want a guide. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson.
Uh-oh.
Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented, and
Taking her
may
from you,
prove
you know this,
useful
right?
to you.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot
I
to
need the
ask of a
engineer for my
stranger, I know.
Taking her. Companions. And a companion. They are characters that various and variety of rays. Companions provide combat support, enhance your skill, increase your carrying capacity, and unlock special companion combat abilities, operations, companions of the companion. Come on, hurry up, shit. Oh, yes he is. I don't like you, I'm fucking putting a bullet in your head. I'm joking. Clickety clack.
Hey, mister, can we
Yeah,
talk?
Yeah.
Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
Figures exactly strike me as honest. So.
Oh, he ain't a liar. He believes every word he says. It's just, he doesn't always get where other folk are talking from. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. I don't know anybody well. I mostly listen to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident. Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
Okay. Here's Max.
About if what Mr. Thompson proposes to do is upright. Leaving Miss McDevitt's folk to their fate. Their neighbors. Kin. And maybe he can think of something else to try. Something we ain't. He used to go walking outside town. Maybe he found something that'll help. It's just an idea. That's all. The mission's on the east side of town. You can't miss it. On account of it being the only clean thing.
Can't hurt.
Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Let's go. And wait though. Guessing that's the other way. Oh, this.
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
And I'm guessing this.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Get up.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar de Soto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season's tossball predictions, the quickest way out of town.
Straight up alcohol. What Reed has to do.
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do?
Power?
Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
Like the type. Buys. Group. Of.
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold.
Possible. And sounds like I've got my work cut out for me. Thank you for your time, and it's been a waste of time.
If it were as easy as a few soothing words in the right ears, I'm sure it would have been done already. Consider it a challenge. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume.
I think it was. I've been outside, I'm not impressed. I can... Bar?
The marauders I met when I ventured outside the walls might agree with you. Bastards snuck up on me while I was dutifully hunting for a banned book in a collector's library. Barely escaped with my life. But you see, one of the reasons I transferred here was to get my hands on that heretical text. If you managed to acquire it for me, I'd pay quite a handsome sum for the book.
For a second. Burn it once.
What? No! I don't want to burn it! I would never... I mean, I just want to... Look, I have a very simple goal here. I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption.
Of course. I need to know a little.
It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M'Bakono handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? It is not only a beautiful relic of a bygone time, it's also the thoughts of an early thinker on the nature of man's place in the cosmos. Not many in this colony could understand its true value, should they ever read it. Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
But can I better have the option to not give it. Come on, little lady.
Incoming!
Oh, fuck.
Nice one!
Fucking dog.
Try something else!
Man, if I could hit something, damn. Okay then.
I'm not getting through! That's the last of them!
An assault rifle. No, I wanted. What the hell? Oh. Item repair. Blah. What do I? Fuck it, I don't need. Armor parts, what's that?
Nice.
It is not. Everything. Necklace. Energy sand. Glad it came out here. Banshee.
Dang, that's impressive.
Oh, it is. Light machine gun, nice. Oh, rifle. Getting very, very, very excited. I thought it was a shotgun. What's wrong? Okay.
Nice one.
Did it again. Can't. Let's search that. The beds. Hey, pry blade or tip blade? Don't know if I'm on there yet. Find out. On. Get on. Fix it? Must be because it's scared. Okay, there it goes. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm guessing. That must be a bug. What points available?
Great work.
Colonel. Oh, that's a plasma rifle. Is that it? That was cool. Earrings. A lot of people dead. A lot of dead bodies. Felt like she drink when he goes to sleep. I don't know what half this shit is I'm picking up. But, I mean, it'll make me some money. But a lot of these... God damn. I don't want you to eat it.
Got it.
Lady, stop. Come on.
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble.
Don't like your attitude.
I'm going. Gotcha.
I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along.
Girl.
Armed strangers wandering into my camp for one. Some of my camp wandering out for another. Got anything in you besides questions? No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her. I've crossed off my share of marauders. This ain't about them. I go looking for Zoe, I leave the camp undefended, seeing as I'm the only one of us who knows her way around a gun. Hence my dilemma. Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already.
You snooped around in her room?
A little ways ago. She was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted to see what the fuss was about.
Mm-hmm. Girl.
Well, enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does.
So personal. Imagine how you...
She was lazy and thoughtless, but she's still one of our own. Well, enough to know... It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere.
Unless Marauders got to her, then parts of her could be in a lot of places.
Could do without the gallows humor.
Oh, shut up, bitch.
Over in the hothouse, tending crop. I'll tell you what I can.
Oh, okay.
What is it?
Yeah, I see what...
Oh gosh, it's so pretty.
It looks... Hey.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness,
Shit,
find a
girl.
place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
Yes. Why do you look so young and so old at the same time?
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Adelaide.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned. A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots.
Picked a terrible place to put down roots.
It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject. Reed Thompson, you here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
No power that belongs to the town. Come back to camp. Come back to town as well. Come back to town at least.
I can't say I blame you. Reed is positively soporific. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want chip parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
Yeah, but am I a hero? And I don't...
A hero to the people who matter. To us. To the ones who come around. To the ones you save. Reed will never understand. He has been too long inebriated on the wine of corporate culture. All he sees is productivity, output, profits.
That's it.
Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives. You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it. You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's Choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
Clear enough. I'll see what I can do. I don't.
I'm all right. I ain't so fragile.
Yeah, but she.
That was unkind of me. I'm sorry, dear.
Fucking right. You fucking apologize.
I trust you will listen to your conscience.
Where are we headed?
Where are we headed? Something early that I want.
You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vickers says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vickers sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass.
Idea.
Vickers about the only soul in the Vale who spends his time thinking on what is and ain't right. It's just that when he looks at me, I feel I disappoint him.
I'm girly girl.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
I don't know where you be.
You hungry? We got canid ribs, canid flank, canid snout too. Something I can help you with?
Oh my shit. What are you selling?
Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
Prices, buying and I don't want to buy anything. Oh. I want to. All of these. Here we go. The fuck about it? Okay, so it doesn't even show any of these. I'm gonna keep that one though.
Something I can help you with?
Bitch, you know exactly what. I'm just trying to take
Fresh
your
off
money,
the limb,
okay?
and that includes canid meat.
Shut up. Sale. Can't see anything, lady. You're not even saying anything.
Where are we headed?
You're not saying anything about me stealing stuff. Finding me kind of a forward tell that. Kind of irritating that she's not saying anything about me stealing shit. But I mean, again, kind of nice because I can do whatever I want without them really saying too much about it, unless she's not intended to be an actual opinion of mine. Then again, could explain why she's not really saying too much about what I'm doing. Like in KOTOR, that Danny's in KOTOR so good. So fucking mouthy. Loved it so much. Is that a named one? Bro, if that's named, I'm coming to killing it.
I'm ready for this. That's the last of them.
Damn, dude. So yeah, that was an elite. Or named, I guess. They're really good. Give me all your shit, bro. Need one of those. Oh. I'll save it right there, gentlemen. Oh, for the